president of the Bermuda National Athletic Association. Just want to update on Carifta. We see the track is well on its way to being completed. It's looking fantastic. I was there a few days ago. I'm pretty much kind of afraid of some of the times I think some of these kids will do because it's new, it's spongy, but let's talk about the games themselves. This will be the third time Bermuda will host Carifta?
No.
Fourth?
Fourth time, because we had it 75.
That's right.
We had
okay. So
2004, 2012. And
right. So the fourth time Bermuda will host Carifta. What are you looking for different this time as the president of the Bermuda National Athletic Association?
I'm looking for, number one, quality performances from our Bermuda athletes. I'm really pleased with what I've seen so far. As you know, we have some of our top athletes that are overseas right now. They're running fantastic, even though they haven't, say, for example, we look at a Caitlin, she hasn't qualified, but I have no doubt that she'll meet the standards. And that's because she's running indoors, and so she's running 300s and 150s and 55 meters, which of course is not the distances for Carifta, but I'm sure once she runs a 2 or once she runs a 4, she'll beat that standard with no problem. And then, we have Nathan, we've got a few, but even the Bermuda athletes, we've given them opportunities to travel overseas. They've got 3 more meets coming up in Barbados, and 2, 1 in New York, 1 in New Jersey. So we're trying to give those athletes, with the track, as you said, not being available, we're trying to give them the opportunities that they can have so that they can be competitive, they can make the standards. So we're feeling very positive about the athletes. So I think, as I said, we may not have a huge team, but we're going to have a team that's quality. From the part of the event itself, as you know, we started our advertising way back in May. And I think at this point, if there's no one in Bermuda that knows Carifta's coming, then they're really not paying attention. And we're not even finished our advertising. So I think, number one, we've definitely picked up our advertising campaign and our marketing campaign. We've just received our numerical entries, and out of the 28 countries, we have 27 coming. The only country that's not going to be here is Bonaire, and they don't usually have a huge team anyway. So right now the numbers are like over 600. I'm sure it will probably decrease because a lot of times in numerical entries, teams put in, a little above what they expect. But things happen, people don't make the standards, or, they may get injured. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there's various reasons why their numbers may end up being a little bit less, even though we talked about it at our Carifta Congress, and we basically said to everyone, try to be as realistic as you can. But as you know, things can happen. So when we look at the numbers, that's fantastic. 27 countries that are coming here, and they're all making a great effort to make sure that, they send a team to Bermuda. Everybody wants to come to Bermuda. Beautiful place. All I hope is that our weather's not like 2012, but there's nothing we can do about it. I'm thinking, we've had a lot of bad weather in January, and, February seems to be a little bit better. Hopefully by April, all this bad weather, rain and cold, has gotten itself out of the system, and we can have a wonderful Carifta. The other new thing that we're bringing on board this year, really for the first ever for Carifta, is that we're having a baton relay, which will take place on the Friday before the opening ceremony. So we're bringing back all those past Carifta athletes, and we're going to have them run. Some of them may walk 50 meters, Earl. Some of them may run a mile. I don't know, but we're hoping to at least have about 50 athletes participating in that, because I think it's special to be a Carifta athlete. Some have medals, some haven't. We don't care. We just want you, if you have participated in Carifta, we want you on board. We're going to have a CETA commemorative baton, and we're going to have Brian Wellman, who's going to bring that baton into the stadium for us, because I think Brian has done some special things for Bermuda, and we need to showcase our athletes. And also, that's what I want to do with the athletes. When they enter the stadium, each one's going to be named with their event, with the year they went Carifta, and so on and so forth. So I think that's going to be something special. So I hope Bermudians line the street. We're going to start at Hamilton, go to the Birdcage, up Queen Street, along City Hall, and then all the way back to National Stadium. So I'm hoping that we have people line the streets and see these athletes, these past athletes, especially the ones that I'm not sure they're going to be doing too much running, but I think it's fantastic. And they will have a commemorative Carifta T-shirt as well that they will all be wearing.
Yeah. How important is that for people to know past Carifta athletes?
I think it's very important, Earl, and the reason that I think it's important is Bermuda has a rich history with the Carifta Games. We have been involved in the Carifta Games since its inception. You know, we have Brennan Smith, who was the first medalist in the Carifta Games. We have Debbie Jones-Hunter, who still has the most medals in the Carifta Games. We have Sonia Smith, who still holds the record in the javelin. And then we have so many other athletes that went on to be Olympians, that went on to get university scholarships. Unfortunately, because it's just before the opening ceremony, I won't be able to participate in the relay. I'm really disappointed because I would love to. But I think we've all turned out to be really good citizens and have contributed well to Bermuda's economy. So I think, some people don't even know. I remember I worked with an athlete at a company, and, he was one of Bermuda's top athletes, and I'm going to say it, Clarence Nicky Saunders. The company didn't even know that was Clarence Nicky Saunders. So I think it's important that Bermuda gets to see who our past Carifta athletes are, and then they could sit back and say, wow, look where this person is now, going through track and field and becoming the outstanding citizen that they have become. So I think that's very, very important. And for our young people that's coming up, to have people to look up to, I think it's important that they know as well. We had a meeting with all of our possible Carifta athletes, and we have Brian Wellman in there. And we asked the question, who knows Brian Wellman? There are very few hands that went up, and that, to me, is not acceptable. So I think Bermuda needs to see who our top stars really are.
In the lead up to the last few months for the games, what other special things do you guys have coming up that people can actually get excited about before actually the Friday night?
Mm-hmm. I guess the major things are really the advertising. I mean, as you know, we already have the advertising on the back of the buses. The banners are going to be going up around town in the next couple of weeks. They're being created and developed as we speak. We were thinking about maybe having one more pep rally. We're not too sure. We've got to really look at what we have, because as you know, those 2 months are going to go by so fast, and we have to focus on making sure that the event itself, because that's what it is all about. We have to make sure, like you said, the track is completed. We have to make sure that our officials are all trained up. So we've got officials training coming up in March. We have to make sure that our coaches are preparing our athletes. So it's so many things, and we're still out there looking for sponsors as well. We have a budget. We're trying to stick to that budget, but we also want to make it a great games that people will remember. We're looking at putting the logo on the field. The medal podium is going to be something that Bermuda's never seen before. That's designed and it's being created. The other thing that we're doing for this games is we're trying to use as many Bermudian entrepreneurs as possible. We have a young company that's assisting us with the design of the T-shirts for the officials and for the volunteers and for the Carifta committee. Unfortunately, James Tolbert passed away. We had basically given the contract to TNT for the TV production, but we met with his son, the other day, and he's all on board. He's obviously been trained up very well. So we're excited, that because of his father's death, we weren't able to continue with TNT. So, our goal is to use as many Bermudians. Even at the event, we've got Bermudian vendors. We've got, some of the Bermudian vendors that you see on the Saturday at the marketplace. We're trying to bring them in. They could sell their, their goods and so on and so forth. So we're trying to make this a real Bermudian event. As we say, we move together. So that's our slogan, and that's really what we're trying to do, is move together, bring as many Bermudians into this event as we possibly can.
All right, well, we'll get back with you, say a month from now.
Yes.
We'll be a month closer.
We'll be a month closer.
And pretty much everything should be gung-ho.
Exactly.
But an excellent job thus far in promoting this event, and I know the athletes, the coaches, the parents, and everybody will appreciate what's been done thus far.
And we just
can't wait for
exactly.
April 10th.
And we just need Bermuda to come out and fill that stadium. And the tickets are selling, but we need Bermudians to fill that stadium. As I keep saying in every single interview I do, don't be Bermudian and wait to the last minute, because we just had Bahamas purchase 100 tickets. So don't be Bermudian and wait to the last minute and have my phone ringing off the hook saying, "Oh, Miss Rain, I want to get a ticket." So let's get those tickets early, because once the stadium is full, it's full. We have a security officer who is very, very tight with us these days. So basically, he said when the seats are filled, that's it. Last time we had people standing, he said that's not going to happen this year. So